Let's talk more about this now with Joseph Busha of JM Busha Investments. As always, Mr. Busha, many thanks for your time this afternoon. Let's start with movements on the local bourse, ending over 0.5% in the green. Globally, we are seeing that markets are getting excited about US company earnings that are going to start filtering through. Did that also filter through on the JSE, or were there some other catalysts that buoyed the local bourse?
So certainly there's quite a lot of cheers on the market. I think, we're seeing the JSE hovering just above the height is just reached recently. So we're just about 400 points below 76,000 level, index level points for the JSE. So certainly I think the markets are still quite excited. The resource sector is still very buoyant. And I think we're still going to have a very good bumper harvest this year in terms of the reporting seasons when it starts. We also see that the currency is still very stable, 15 to 40 to the dollar. So there's stability there. The only issue really is that, your crude oil has remained around 86. We saw our petrol price coming down last week. So I think this is really going to be good for the market, and I think it's going to continue. Today, the retailers, they were all very happy. We saw British American Tobacco about 4% up, Woolies, Mr. Price, all of them very, very positive, and I think they've kept the market in the green for today.
No, absolutely. Let's get into some company news now. And a juicy story that has gripped us for a while now is the fight between Old Mutual and Peter Moyo. They're back in court today. A lot of administrative issues being ironed out before that 10-day trial starts. And Old Mutual releasing a statement after the court proceedings today saying they owe nothing to Peter Moyo. In fact, he was demanding 250 million rand from them after being dismissed the way he was. Your thoughts on this particular story, Mr. Busha? I mean, the share price wasn't really looking great today.
Investors had almost forgotten really about this case. Remember, it's happened like in 2019, and I thought, it was really over, and they might have settled in the background. So certainly it has not happened that way. He's back in court. He lost possibly about 3 of them in terms of his appeals for dismissal, reinstated, and I think they still said, well, he was at fault in terms of what transpired at Old Mutual. So I think it's going to play out. The sooner I think they fix this, the better. I think just for him as a person in terms of his own career, but I think for Old Mutual as well as one of our biggest insurance companies or investment companies in South Africa. So, the courts are going to decide, but they're saying that, it might not be different given the fact that the full bench said, and they said Old Mutual acted lawfully. So I think once you get a full bench and he continues that, it's very, very difficult to see whether the courts will arrive at different decisions. But I think, they need to be able to find a way out of this.
No, absolutely. Finally, Mr. Busha, we have run out of time, but I must ask you 2 very important circulars that were released today by Implats around its acquisition of RB Platt, as well as Distel around its merger and acquisition proceedings with Heineken. What do those break down in terms of the developments around those M&As?
It does look like Implats might, I think, triumph over. Remember, Northam also wanted to get a pie or to buy RB Plus. Certainly, I think there is some movement. There have been some dates and timetables put. So the updates requires RB Plus to respond to Implats by the 14th. So I think they are carrying on, and they might succeed in basically just acquiring whatever they don't have. The shares of RB Platt. When you look at Distel, they're being bought either cash offer by Heineken, and also there's a timetable for that. Remember, Distel is one of our biggest producers, the producer of Hunters and Savannah. So that might go through, and we'll see the delisting of Distel. So the JSE is going to continue losing. I mean, there are very few companies that are coming to. We've seen some of our darlings, I think, delist over the years. We had lots of, companies that delisted, in particular in the construction sector. Right now, it won't be good to start with that in 2022.
No, absolutely. One of the darlings that we did have was Clover until it was bought out by that Israeli company, now marred in a bit of trouble. But that's Joseph Busha of J&M Busha Investments joining us for the markets update there. Many thanks for your time. We're going to be